Baby, it's 3 a.m. Had you on my mind, and it's not the first time we've gone through this.
Hey guys, so I wanted to make a video about like general stuff that you're gonna need to know about, or at least, have some information on when you join NJROTC. I am an NJROTC cadet. Right now I'm an admin chief, which basically means that I do a lot of paperwork. I put cadets into the system and just stuff like that. I have to know what's going on with everybody and just stuff like that, so I can update everything in the system and make sure that everything's working fine. I also help out with paperwork and stuff like that too when an instructor needs it. So that's my job. And I've been in JROTC. This is going to be my second year, which means I have 1 star. If you don't know what that means, you get like the amount of stars that someone has over here, sorry. The amount of stars that someone has is the amount of years that they've completed in JROTC. So yeah, I'm saying NJROTC because that's the program that I'm going through. I put everything into like 5 basic categories, and so it's not going to be the same throughout all the JROTC programs. You have Air Force, you have Army, you have Marines, you have, I don't think Coast Guard has anything, but if they do, they probably would, have different stuff, sort of, to what we have. And a lot of our stuff that I specifically study is split between Marines and Navy, because we have 2 Marine instructors and 2 Navy instructors. So everything is kind of just split in half. Like, we have to know ranks for Navy and Marines because of both of that, because we have both. It's good to have the general knowledge of both. So yeah, I'm going to go through a list of 5 things that you should know, and 5 main categories of things that you should probably have a bit of an idea about when you join NJROTC, or if you're in JROTC and you're brand new to the program. The first thing is going to be general knowledge. This includes principles of leadership, your general orders, your ranks, who your instructors are. That's kind of like the general knowledge aspect, is, who's commander-in-chief at the moment. Right now it's Donald J. Trump. But when if someone asks you in JROTC, if they ask you who who commander-in-chief is, you reply with the Honorable Donald J. Trump. At the moment, it is 2019, and he's the president at the moment, so yeah. You would reply with the Honorable and then the current president as your commander-in-chief. Your general orders, you have 11 general orders, and you can always look up your general orders on Google. They have a million different things. The general orders is also on YouTube. So yeah, you can always look there. And then your principles of leadership are going to be on Google too, if you need that. And if I'm right, I believe that there is a PDF of the orange book that you should be getting when you join NJROTC. There is an orange book that you get, and it's a PDF file. So if you don't have the book, you can go to the PDF file, and it has everything in the book, so that way you can just, download the PDF and just bring it up on your phone, which makes it super easy. But for me, personally, I like Googling everything, because all I have to do is Google it, and it's right there. I don't have to Google it as much anymore, but it was really handy when I actually needed to start learning and knowing my information. Get involved. So getting involved kind of means volunteering, because you do need volunteering hours or community service hours to get a community service ribbon, but you get a specific ribbon once you have completed at least 3 community service events. And once you have completed 3 and it's in the system, you earn a community service ribbon, and you can add that to your rack of ribbons. Your rack of ribbons kind of shows everybody your personal achievements and stuff that you have been known for, or like for orienteering, or if you do drill, your community service, obviously your unit achievement, because sometimes you can get those for unit achievements. So yeah, it's like your rack is going to be something that can show everybody what you've done. But Getting involved also means joining a team like orienteering or like drill or athletics or academics or something like that. You have swords team, orienteering, you have all of these things, and you can always look them up just to know exactly what they are. But drill is kind of, you're basically going to be in formation, and you're there to, I hate to say this, you're there to look pretty. You have to know all of your faces, like your left face, your right face, your about face, and even more than what you would normally need to know just in class. And a lot of the time you have stuff like unarmed exhibition and armed exhibition. Unarmed exhibition is where everybody like claps and, you know, slaps their thighs and stomps and everything, and it's the one that always kind of draws the most attention. And then you also have armed exhibition, which is where you get to go and flip the guns. You're the pretty ones, basically. And so, yeah, that's what drill is. Orienteering is where you're going out into the woods and you are running a race. You're not just there to go and look at a map. You are there to kind of go and be first. You're there to be the fastest person there. And it's really fun because you actually have to place in order to get a whistle, but it's called a whistle, and you would be getting an orienteering whistle if you've placed at least twice, I think it is. And if you have competed in at least one orienteering event, you will get an orienteering ribbon, which is another thing that can be added to your rack. I didn't mention this, but drill also has a whistle, and I believe you also will be getting a ribbon if you have competed in a drill meet. So it really just depends on your school. Ask around, ask if they have a schedule or something, which is something that I personally have. I asked for it because I wanted to know what was going on. So yeah, that's stuff like that. You also have swords teams. I know that our swords team kind of comes around nearing the end of the year, because that's when our main events are going on, is nearing the end of the year. It's like we have swords for prom, military ball, senior walkout, I know is one too, I believe. You also have like a bunch of other senior stuff as well. So swords is definitely another good one. To be in swords, you have to have a very strong arm because you're keeping your arm up, held up, and your wrist is like this. Your wrist is like this and your arm is up forever. So you have to have a strong arm if you want to go and do swords. But that's all I'm going to cover about that one, because I could go on forever about that. The next one is know your uniform. So what you want to know is, what are your measurements? You might get asked this by your instructors going through inspection. Like, what are your measurements from from the top of your uniform down to your name tag? That's one for females. Females get it a lot. It is 6 inches and 6 1/4 inches, I believe. And so we have to know that right on the bat, and then we also have to align it with our ribbons and everything else. So yeah, I said this for name tag, this is your name tag side, and then this is your ribbon side. But yeah, and then you also need to know how far your J bar is from the tip of your uniform all the way to the J bar. And then you're also going to need that for your rank too. So once you get a rank, or you start making rank, you're going to have to know the measurement for that. A part of this is also knowing how to shine your shoes. You're going to want to know how to specifically shine your shoes, because I know that my company commander is going to grill us on this year. It's like, your shoes have to be a mirror, basically. There are a ton of videos on YouTube, I'll link some down below, where you can go and you can kind of get information that you need about shining your shoes. But they basically have to be a mirror. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, your uniform has to be spiffy, it has to be nice, and then your shoes also have to be like really shiny. For like the first few ones, it doesn't have to be that good, but it still has to be pretty good. Like, it can't be matte, it still has to be shiny. So that's for shoes and uniform. This one is know your people. So this is kind of like the people who are lower than you, the people that you're working with, or even just, you know, your higher ups. You have to know everybody in order to start getting to know NJROTC and to kind of start understanding how everything works, or even just to gain rank. It's nice to know everybody, because once you've known everybody and you start to, you know, make friends and stuff like that, you're gonna get noticed more, and it's gonna be way easier to gain rank. I started noticing this like nearing the end of last year, and so I just started making friends. I started talking to everybody more. I'm not that like talkative when it comes to that kind of stuff, but I do try to do the best that I can. And now that I have sort of like a leadership position, I try to set the example as much as I can. I try not to screw up as much as possible. So it's definitely kind of an incentive to be in a leadership position, because you're always trying to set the example, and you want to make sure that the people who are under you are doing really well too. Okay. The next one is passing requirements, and I'm going to put PT under this one because PT is very important. So you're going to have to pass your PT scores. Females have their own specific scores that they have to meet, and males have their own specific scores that they have to meet as well. And it goes by age, especially in high school. It's ages 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. And then it goes the same for males as well. Females, your requirements are going to be quite lower than males. Males are going to be quite higher than females. Like, let's say for push-ups. For push-ups, the highest score out of all the ages, and it gets harder as you go up in age. The hardest push-ups to get as a female at 18 is 25 push-ups. So it's going to be quite different for males. For males, I believe it was like 70 something, but for females, it's only 25. So there are the gender specific requirements that you do have to meet. You also have to pass your inspections as well, which goes along with your general knowledge and knowing your uniform, which works perfectly. But passing your requirements is definitely mainly going to be a PT thing. And then requirements are, like I said, your general knowledge. So you're going to have to know information about the Navy specifically for NJROTC. If it's the Army, it's going to be Army knowledge, Marines, Marine knowledge, and just stuff like that. And yeah, that's about it. I don't really have that much else to cover. I might make a video about shining my shoes, but shining my shoes kind of takes a long time. I might make a video on, you know, how to do a bun, but yet again, I am not the best at making my bun either. So, you know, just let me know what you guys kind of want. I want to make more ROTC stuff. If you guys want some funny videos about ROTC cadets and, you know, kind of just how it goes and everything, then I would love to make that, because I'm pretty sure my friends would be down to, you know, just make a silly video about stuff that we do all the time, and just funny things that really only ROTC people or military people would understand. So I hope that you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys all